Good morning, gentlemen. Sorry to disturb you, I'm sure. Very good of you to spare us a few moments.
Will you preside, sir?
No, sir. I feel my own deficiencies too keenly to presume so far. If you will kindly allow me, I will sit at the foot of the table.
Halt! Right turn. Escort, take position. Sergeant.
Who's that woman?
Prisoner's wife, sir. She asked to be allowed to be present, and I thought that...
You thought it would be a pleasure for her. Quite so, quite so. Give the lady a chair and make her thoroughly comfortable.
Your name, sir? You don't mean to say you brought me here without knowing who I am?
As a matter of form, sir, give your name.
As a matter of form, then, my name is Anthony Anderson, Presbyterian minister of this parish.
Presbyterian? Indeed. Pray, Mr. Anderson, what do you gentlemen believe in?
I shall be glad to explain if time has allowed me, but I can't undertake to complete your conversion in less than a fortnight.
We are not here to discuss your views.
I stand rebuked.
Oh, not you, sir.
Pray don't mention it. Any political views, Mr. Anderson?
I understand that's just what we're here to find out.
Do you mean to deny that you are a rebel?
I am an American.
What am I expected to think of that speech, Mr. Anderson?
I never expect a soldier to think.
I advise you not to be insolent, prisoner.
Well, you can't help yourself, General. When you make up your mind to hang a man, you put yourself at a disadvantage with him. Now, why should I be civil with you? I may as well be hanged for a sheep as a lamb.
You've no right to assume that the court has made up its mind without a fair trial. And please do not address me as General. I am Major Swindon.
My deepest apologies. I thought I had the pleasure of addressing Gentlemanly Johnny.
I believe I am Gentlemanly Johnny, sir. My more intimate friends call me General Burgoyne. You will understand, sir, I hope, since you seem to be a gentleman and a man of some spirit in spite of your calling, that if we do have the misfortune to hang you, we shall do so as a mere matter of political necessity and military duty without any personal ill feeling.
Well, that makes all the difference in the world, of course.
How can you?
Judith.
Believe me, madam, your husband is placing us under the greatest obligation by taking this very disagreeable business so thoroughly in the spirit of a gentleman. Give Mr. Anderson a chair.
You are aware, I presume, Mr. Anderson, of your obligation as the subject of His Majesty King George III?
I am aware, sir, that His Majesty King George III is about to hang me because I object to Lord North's robbing me.
That is a treasonable speech, sir.
I meant it to be.
Now, don't you think, Mr. Anderson, this is rather, if you will forgive the word, a vulgar line to take? Why should you cry out robbery because of a stamp duty and a tea duty and so forth? After all, it is the essence of your position as a gentleman that you pay with a good grace.
Oh, it's not the money, General, but to be swindled by a pig-headed lunatic like King George.
Silence!
That now is another point of view. My position does not allow my going into that, except in private. Of course, Mr. Anderson, if you are determined to be hanged, there's nothing more to be said. An unusual taste.
Shall we call witnesses?
What's the need for witnesses? If the villagers had listened to me, you would have found the place barricaded. The houses loophole, people in arms.
Very well, sir. We shall teach you and your fellows a lesson they won't forget. Have you anything more to say?
But I think you might have the decency to treat me as a prisoner of war. Shoot me like a man instead of hanging me like a dog.
Now there, Mr. Anderson, you talk like a civilian, if you'll excuse my saying so. Have you any idea of the average marksmanship of the army of His Majesty King George III? If we make up a firing party, what will happen? Half of them will miss you, and the rest will make a mess of the business and leave you to the Provost Marshal's pistol, whereas we can hang you in a perfectly workmanlike and agreeable way. Let me persuade you to be hanged, Mr. Anderson.
Thank you, General. That view of the matter hadn't occurred to me. I withdraw my objections. Hang me by all means.
Will 12 o'clock suit you, Mr. Anderson?
I shall be at your disposal.
Nothing more to be said, gentlemen.
You can't do this without a proper trial, without him.
My good lady, our only desire is to save unpleasantly.
You don't care what you do. You think you can murder a man as long as you do it in uniform. Lieutenant, the truth, terrible.
Promise?
He's not my husband.
Gentlemen, I assure you, she won't believe that she can't save me.
Contempt of court. One moment, gentlemen. One moment, Mr. Anderson. Let me understand you clearly, madam. Do you mean this gentleman is not your husband, or merely, I wish to put this with all delicacy, that you are not his wife?
I don't know what you mean, but you can ask anyone in the village. They'll tell you he isn't my husband. My husband's escaped, and this man took his place to save.
Escaped? Where to?
I don't know. I don't know where he is, and I don't care.
Swindon, might I suggest that a brief recess might be in order? The lady will then have a chance to regain her composure. And you might even find the time to discover, with a little more accuracy, who it is we have been trying half the morning.